You know, when we think about solving crimes, we often think the police, the sheriff's office, but seldom do we think of us and our neighbors. Things like crime, neighborhood watch, and things like that. We can actually be a huge part in helping find the suspects for criminal investigations and bringing those people to justice. Here to talk to us today about the program here in Polk County is Chip Brown. He is with Heartland Crime Stoppers. Chip, welcome on the show.
Steve, thank you for inviting me back. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, it's great when you come on. We get to talk about some of the things that are going on in the county here as far as what to be looking out for. Tell us a little bit about Crime Stoppers and how Crime Stoppers actually works.
Well, actually, Crime Stoppers started back in 1976 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It is now an international organization. And basically, we offer a way for citizens to leave information on criminals or criminal activity while remaining anonymous. That way, some people are really afraid when they make statements or are known that they're going to have to go to court to testify. Sometimes on violent crimes or drug dealers are really concerned that they're going to wake up with their house vandalized or on fire, or their car stolen, or their tires flat. They're really concerned about, retaliation from some of these folks. With Crime Stoppers, it offers a way to remain anonymous. We also offer a cash reward up to $3,000. Those are for the violent felonies and the homicides. To qualify for the reward, the information has to result in one of three things: either the arrest of the subject, the recovery of stolen property, or the recovery of illegal drugs. If any one of those things happen, if any one of those three things happen as a result of the tip that person provided, then they're eligible for that reward. So it is a very successful program. We just last month approved a reward for a suspect that had been identified through a tipster for $2,500. Got to the tipster for an attempted second-degree murder suspect that was located. So it's a very successful program. A lot of drugs, a lot of violent crimes, shoplifters, trespassers, you name it. We get tips on all of them.
Well, I think it's really clever the way you guys keep it anonymous as far as payouts, because you would think, well, how do you pay out to the right person and so forth? Kind of explain how that process works.
Yes, when a person calls, we never ask their name. We don't have recorded phone lines. We don't ask them anything like that. They are given an ID number that only they know. So when they call back in, they use that ID number to check on the case. If they want to add more information, again, that's their identifier. That's the only way we know them. When that tip ends in an arrest or recovery of stolen property or recovery of drugs, when they call back and get an update on that case, we can tell them your tip has been approved for a reward of such and such. Then we give them another number. It is what we call the pickup number. We tell them a local bank to go to that we have an account. We tell them to give that pickup number to the bank teller. The bank teller confirms that number with information that we provide to them. Mm-hmm. If the number is matched, they count out the cash. They give that to the person. They never have to sign anything. They don't have to show their ID, anything like that. It is completely anonymous from the input to the output.
And there's also something else that you guys have, not just for adults, but you guys have kind of like a student Crime Stoppers thing, right?
Yes, indeed we do. That's, again, a very good program that we use in the middle schools and high schools. It is our campus Crime Stoppers, if you will. This way, the students in school can leave information, because we have gotten everything from guns to knives to marijuana to pills, all kinds of stuff, alcohol, dip, cigarettes, all things like this. They can leave a tip to the same number. They get the same process. They have an ID number they're given. Again, if it results in an arrest, recovery of stolen property, or recovery of illegal drugs, they're eligible for a reward. In the schools is up to $100. Mm-hmm. Now, our program is actually overseen by the Florida Attorney General, Pam Bondi's office in Tallahassee. And some of the guidelines are set through their office, and we have, of course, mounds of paperwork to provide back and forth to them. But it is set for the campus tips up to $100, and the adults are up to $3,000. Wow.
I think that's a really great program, because the culture that we live in teaches kids all don't tell on your friends, don't. But you're kind of teaching them that it's okay to make sure that you're keeping people around you safe. It's okay that, you know, you're playing by the rules.
Exactly. When I talk to the kids in the schools, the big thing we stress is it's okay to say.
Yeah.
People say you don't want to be a snitch, but if you see somebody getting ready to harm themselves or going to do harm to someone else, you know, has a gun in school, has a knife in school, is selling, you know, dope in your school, you know, you don't want that stuff in your school. That should be a place you can go in and learn and be safe, and have a good time being a kid, basically.
Yeah.
But it is okay to say something along those lines when you see somebody going to hurt somebody, because the other kids don't deserve it. They don't need that, and your school doesn't deserve it. So give us a call. It's anonymous, and maybe get a reward as well.
Excellent. Well, hey, let's go ahead and move on here, and let's talk about some lowlifes.
Yes.
We've got a couple. We've got a couple cases to really look at. Let's talk about the first one. You're looking for a possible homicide suspect, right?
Well, yeah, he is a person of interest in the homicide of Dante Lewis. It occurred on October the 11th over in the area off of Medela. The address now escapes me. Cherrywood Circle. It was a home invasion. The person of interest is Taurus Terrell Moye, M-O-Y-E. He's a 35-year-old, 6 foot, 218 pounds. He is a person of interest in this home invasion, homicide. He does have outstanding warrants right now for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. He also is wanted for questioning in this homicide that occurred on Cherrywood Circle. He does have several tattoos on him. He has Strom, and it is written on his back. On his left arm, he has Crazy with a K, K-R-A-Z-Y.
That's crazy.
Yes. The initials TM and then the initials WPG. He also has Cry No More somewhere on this as well. So we have a picture of him. And if you have information on Terrell Moye, give us a call, 1-800-226-TIPS, and leave your information. And if your tip ends in the arrest of Mr. Moye, eligible for a cash reward.
And again, these guys are assumed to be dangerous.
Yes, in this case, with Terrell Moye, he was released from prison, had done 10 years for attempted second-degree murder. He was released in May of 2013. He is considered.
So he's got a history of violence.
History of violence, armed and dangerous. We don't know exactly what occurred during this home invasion, but he is a person of interest, and he does have outstanding warrants for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon.
Moving on to the next, another home invasion.
Yes, this was it was a burglary while the resident was actually home. This occurred on.
You know, to me, Chip, these are some of the scariest crimes that can be committed. These in-home invasions. Let's talk about this a little bit.
Well, in this case, this occurred on January the 22nd in the Christina area of South Lake and on Peninsula Drive. Lady came home about 1:20, heard noises upstairs, called out thinking it was one of her family members. And this man just walked out of the door and down the stairs and startled the woman, and he said, "I am police," and walked out the front door. He is described as a Hispanic male, 45 to 60 years old, about 5'3", unshaven with salt and pepper hair and a beard. He was wearing a ball cap with an unknown logo on it, long sleeve black sleeves, and had a yellow reflective safety vest on. Now, he had been seen in the area walking around asking residents.
As police so often wear.
Yes, you know, the reflective vest of walking into houses, yes. But it was kind of weird because he had been seen in the neighborhood with asking for people by name, and there was no one in that neighborhood by that name. One lady in particular actually checked the directory for the homes in the area and says no person lives in here.
So he had a ruse. He had a ruse going.
It was just one of these things. You walk by and you knock on the door. If nobody answers, you find an open window or go in the back door, something like that. And
so he was going around to the neighborhood houses, knocking on doors. If somebody answered, he would just, "Hey, is Bob here?"
Exactly.
And then move on to the next house to try and find one that was empty.
Exactly. And that has been a problem throughout Polk County. It's just one of the games that these crooks want to play. And in this case, Luckily, no harm was done to this homeowner, this lady that interrupted the burglary, but it's certainly unnerving, and we certainly want to locate this guy and find out who he was and give him a home to stay of his very own.
Well, you know, I think it's important to find these guys as quickly as possible, because stuff like this, I mean, they get away with it once, they're going to be emboldened to do it more.
Exactly.
And it's going to escalate.
Exactly. Very important.
And we've got a sketch of him, right?
Yes, there's a sketch that actually I believe that the homeowner had provided.
Okay.
In this case, it looks like he's wearing some type of sunglasses. But if you have any information on this or any type of burglary like this, just give us a call. It doesn't have to be the case that we profile on the show here or on our Facebook pages. If you have any information on any crime like that, give us a call. Again, you're eligible for a cash reward if we make an arrest.
Well, and like you said, these are things that we're seeing a little bit more of, these home burglaries, things like that. We've got another one to talk about here that happened in Winter Haven. That
is correct. This occurred on Avenue Q Northwest in Winter Haven. It actually occurred at 7:30 in the morning. It was again a home invasion where a shot was fired. Luckily, no one was actually hit when the shot was fired. But they have warrants for 4 counts of armed robbery and armed burglary with a battery, looking for Gary Hendricks. Gary Hendricks is believed to be in the Lake County area, also known to hang around the Inwood area in Winter Haven, and the Juanita area. But Gary, his date of birth is 2/22/1988. And again, if you know where Gary Hendricks is, give us a call, let us know. He got out of prison, interestingly enough, in January of 2013 for carrying a concealed weapon and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon.
Which also means that he was in prison once before as a convicted felon.
Exactly. So
he's had a couple stints in.
Yeah, he is considered armed and dangerous as well. So don't try to apprehend him. If you know where Gary Hendricks is, give us a call. You will remain anonymous and qualify for a cash reward.
There's one more here that we wanted to talk about. Go ahead and throw that up there.
This is a recent case. Again, January 23rd. They've actually have made one arrest on this. It's a human trafficking case. We hear a lot of that, but you always want to assume it's somewhere else, some other third world country. But it goes right on under our noses in our own backyard. This occurred actually on off of Thornhill Road in Winter Haven. There was a young lady being held captive and was in the human trafficking trade. We had made one arrest on this. Marisol Rodriguez has been arrested. They're looking for her boyfriend, Devon Smooth Dixon. Last known address in Plant City. He's wanted for 1 count of human trafficking, 1 count of false imprisonment, felony battery. So if you know where Smooth is, we'd like to smooth his way right on into the jail if you can find him.
Now, you know, crime is always, you know, it sucks that we live in a world where we have to deal with idiots. But some of these things become very comical. And in fact, you've coined this as Twit of the Month.
Twit of the Month, yes. We have our Twit of the Month special here. Or if you want to call her the Lady in Red. Shoplifting, of course, is a big problem. People think that they deserve things that aren't theirs. And shoplifting is a very serious crime. They do get jail time for this. When you shoplift from the Goodwill store, that raises the bar for, in our books, that becomes the Twit of the Month. So this lady was actually in the Goodwill store in South Lakeland. She was wearing glasses, a bright pink T-shirt, walked out with 2 purses that she thought the Goodwill store didn't need to have money for. So we have a picture of her. If you happen to know this young lady, please give us a call. Again, if your tip ends in arrest, then you'll be eligible for a cash reward. We would love to get this Twit of the Month behind bars.
It's a sad day when the Goodwill store is the target for shoplifting.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's not the first time that they've been victimized. Yeah. It's just people have, I don't know what to say.
You might as well be stealing out of the offering plate.
Exactly. Well, that has happened too. But yeah, this again, this was a very worthy award for our Twit of the Month. We were this certainly was a no-brainer for us.
Well, that's good. Chip, thanks for coming on today and just kind of letting us know what's out there. And again, making us aware of the Heartland Crime Stoppers program and how easy it is to access and to provide information and keep our communities safe.
Thank you so very much. And if you have information on any crime, not just the stuff we've profiled here today, or on our Facebook page or our web page, if you have any information on people doing crimes or who's been doing what, give us a call. You can text us. You can download the SMART app, the Tip Submit app, put it on your smartphone. There's tons of ways to do it. They're all anonymous, and you're never identified.
Excellent. Thanks, Chip.
Thank you, Steve.
Well, there you have it. Crime Stoppers, Heartland Crime Stoppers, making our community safe, providing opportunities for citizens to be involved in the apprehension of these criminals and bring them to justice. It's really easy to get in touch with them. Like Chip said, just you can call 1-800-226-TIPS or visit them on the web at heartlandcrimestoppers.com. And they also have another feature that you can get a hold of them by texting at TIP, that's TIP 196, plus the information to crimes. So you're going to text 274637, and in the body of the text you're going to put in TIP 196 plus the information of your tip. Rewards can go up to $3,000 for major crimes. And the student program, your kids can receive a reward up to $100 for tips provided in the schools.